She'd been warned to stay away from the mountain. They said it was dangerous, that the ice would claim her, that the mountain would swallow her whole and spit her back out, broken and dead. But something kept drawing her back to the base of the mountain, demanding her attention, whispering her name. And now she was here again, standing at the foot of the giant peak, deciding if she was going to climb it or not. Her boots crunched on the hardened snow and ice. Above her, the wind screamed like a banshee, whipping around the sharp edges of the rock face. She pulled her coat tighter, trying to shield herself from the cold. Her fingers were stiff, her breath catching in her throat. Each step higher brought a new wave of exhaustion, but something kept driving her forward, pulling her towards the top of the mountain. As she climbed, the world around her faded away. There was only the mountain, the wind, and the voices. At first they were faint, barely audible above the wind, but as she climbed higher, their volume grew. Now she could hear them clearly, whispering her name, calling for her to come closer. She didn't know what to do. Should she keep climbing? Was it even safe? But the voices kept calling to her, beckoning her to come closer. As she neared the summit, the voices grew louder still. Now they were screaming at the top of their lungs, begging her to save them. And then she saw them, frozen in time, trapped within the ice. She reached out to try to help them, but her fingers slipped and she fell, falling forever, lost in the white expanse of oblivion. The Mountiad claimed another victim. The wind sang, mocking and triumphant. Petraeus huddled deeper into her shell, seeking refuge from the biting wind. Around her, the mountain loomed, a silent colossus, watching over the endless expanse of white. Its presence was a tangible force, a crushing weight that seemed to steal her breath and freeze her blood. They say the mountain claims those who dare to challenge it, those who think themselves brave enough to best its unforgiving might. And yet, despite the danger, there was something about the mountain's raw power that drew her in, beckoned her closer. It whispered promises of adventure, of a chance to test her limits, to prove her worth. And so she found herself drawn to its icy embrace, ready to risk it all for a glimpse of the truth. The biting wind tore across the ancient peak, carrying with it the scent of snow and ice. Petraeus pulled her hood tighter, shielding herself from the elements. Her eyes, however, remained fixed on the path ahead, unwavering in their determination. The mountain was a formidable opponent, its slopes treacherous and unforgiving, yet she felt a strange sense of calm settle over her. Years of training had prepared her for this moment. She was ready to face the challenge head-on, to conquer the mountain and uncover its secrets. As she ascended higher, the air grew thinner, making each breath a bit more labored. But Petraeus pressed on, fueled by an insatiable curiosity. The summit was close, she could feel it, and the voices carried on. The wind grew louder, more insistent. With every step, the world around her transformed into a winter wonderland. Snow-laden pines stood guard, their branches heavy with glistening ice crystals. The wind whistled through them, creating a haunting melody that echoed through the silent forest. But as beautiful as the surroundings were, Petraeus knew that the mountain was a harsh mistress. She had to stay focused, had to push through the biting cold and the treacherous terrain. She remembered the stories of those who had tried to best the mountain and failed. Their bodies never recovered. Fear threatened to consume her, but she pushed it aside. She would not let fear defeat her. She had come too far to turn back now. Suddenly, the trees thinned, revealing a breathtaking sight before her. The summit of the mountain was finally in view, and with it, the true nature of the mountain revealed itself. It was not just a majestic peak, it was a place of power, of energy that hummed beneath its icy surface. Petraeus stood in awe, mesmerized by the raw beauty that surrounded her. She had made it this far, and she would not stop now. She took a deep breath, readying herself for the final ascent. The last stretch was the most treacherous. The slope was steeper, the wind more intense, but Petraeus was determined to reach the summit. She moved with the agility of a mountain goat, her body sure-footed on the ice and snow. She could feel the mountain testing her, pushing her to her limits. But she refused to yield. With every step, she inched closer to the top, closer to the voices that whispered on the wind. Finally, she reached the summit. The world stretched out before her, a vast panorama of snow-covered peaks and valleys. The wind, which had been her constant companion throughout the ascent, suddenly ceased. An eerie silence descended, amplifying the sound of her own breathing. And then she heard them. Voices, clear and strong, resonated through the stillness. "Help us," they cried. "Save us from this icy tomb." Startled by their sudden emergence, Petraeus turned to locate the source of the sound, but the mountain offered no answers, only an expanse of snow and ice as far as the eye could see. Confused and a bit frightened, she began to search for any sign of life, any indication of who or what was up here. But the mountain remained silent, its secrets closely guarded. As the minutes ticked by, Petraeus realized that she was not alone on the summit. Something, or someone, was here with her, watching, waiting. A shiver ran down her spine. She could feel eyes on her, though she dared not turn around to see. Curiosity warred with fear within her, battling for dominance. The voices had stopped their incessant calling, replaced by an expectant hush. It was as if the mountain itself was holding its breath, waiting for her next move. Petraeus' gaze drifted towards a towering boulder, its rough surface and jagged edges hinting at untold stories. With a mix of apprehension and determination, she decided to investigate. Perhaps answers lay hidden amongst the stones. Taking a deep breath, she started her descent, her eyes scanning the ground for any clues. As she moved, the silence was broken by the crunch of snow beneath her boots. The sound echoed around her, amplifying her solitude. Petraeus' heart pounded in her chest, each thud reverberating in the stillness. She felt exposed, vulnerable. Every creak of the ice, every sigh of the wind sent a fresh wave of unease through her. The mountain had revealed its first secret, a secret born of ice and silence, and it had done so on her own terms. What other mysteries lay dormant here, waiting to be uncovered? Petraeus continued her exploration, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a newfound respect for the mountain's enigmatic nature. What she discovered next would change everything. Deep within the mountain's icy grasp, Petraeus stumbled upon an entrance concealed by centuries of snow. Her heart quickened as she realized the significance of her find. This was no ordinary crevice. It was a doorway to the mountain's heart, a portal to the past. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, she brushed away the snow, revealing a tunnel that stretched into the darkness. What awaited her inside? Was it merely a natural formation or something more? Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Petraeus decided to venture inside. The tunnel was narrow, forcing her to stoop as she made her way deeper into the mountain. The air grew colder, sending shivers down her spine. As she walked, she noticed strange markings on the walls, symbols that seemed to glow faintly in the dim light filtering through the entrance. Each step into the mountain's embrace brought Petraeus closer to its secrets, and as the tunnel opened up into a vast cavern, she realized that she had just reached the epicenter of the mountain's mysteries. Before her lay a sight that took her breath away. In the heart of the mountain, nestled amidst the ice and rock, was a shimmering pool of water. Its surface, like a sheet of polished silver, reflected the faint light that pierced through cracks in the ceiling. The water's surface rippled, as if disturbed by a sudden breeze, and from its depths, a voice echoed. "Who disturbs our ancient rest?" Petraeus, startled, instinctively took a step back. Who was there? How could a voice emerge from the still water without a ripple, without a disturbance? Gathering her composure, she responded, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "I mean, you no harm. I am but a traveler seeking knowledge, a seeker of truth." The water rippled again, and a figure began to emerge. At first it was nothing but a hazy outline, a silhouette against the shimmering surface. But slowly, with each passing moment, the figure became more defined. Emerging from the water, Petraeus gasped. Standing before her was a woman of ethereal beauty. Her skin was the color of alabaster. Her eyes shone with an otherworldly glow, and her hair cascaded down her back like a frozen waterfall. Her form seemed to shimmer, as though she were not entirely of this world. "Who are you?" Petraeus whispered, her voice filled with awe and a hint of fear. The woman's gaze met Petraeus's, and a knowing smile touched her lips. "We are the guardians of this mountain, bound to its heart by ancient magic. You have awakened us from our slumber, seeker of truth." The woman extended a hand towards Petraeus. "Why have you come to our mountain?" she asked, her voice resonating with the echoes of ages past. Petraeus hesitated, surprised by the warmth and kindness in the woman's eyes. Despite her otherworldly appearance, there was a gentleness about her that put Petraeus at ease. Taking a deep breath, Petraeus reached out and grasped the woman's hand. "I seek knowledge, understanding," she said, her voice echoing in the vast chamber. "Your mountain calls to me, and I cannot help but heed its whispers." The woman's smile widened. "So you are a seeker, much like us. Very well, we shall share our wisdom with you. But know that the path of knowledge is often fraught with peril." With that, the woman turned and gestured towards the shimmering pool. "Our stories lie within. Are you ready to hear them?" Seeker Petraeus nodded, her eyes shining with determination. She was ready to delve into the mountain's heart and uncover its secrets, even if the path ahead was fraught with peril. She had come too far to turn back now, and so she stepped forward, ready to hear the stories that echoed from the depths of the mountain's soul. The water rippled as if in anticipation, and the mountain held its breath, waiting for its secrets to be revealed.